What if I told you that you could sell your car for more money and in less time? Well, it's totally possible as long as you're willing to put in about 1 day's worth of work. Back when I decided to sell my old Grand Cherokee, all of the others were listed for around $3,000 or $4,000. Now I posted mine for twice that price because I just didn't want to let it go for that cheap. And it ended up selling for asking price in as-is condition. What? The buyer was actually really happy too. He felt like he got a great deal. So today I'm going to walk you through my entire process so that you can raise your car's perceived value from here up to here, including the one detailing strategy that's an absolute game changer in making your car stand out from the crowd. This process can be divided up into 3 sections, and each one contributes to raising your car's perceived value. You'll notice though that they don't all have an equal amount. They all help, but one of them offers a lot more value than the others. So let's start off with that big one. Detailing. Used car dealerships buy cars for cheap and then sell them for a profit. And aside from fixing any mechanical issues, detailing is pretty much all they do to get more money. So, rather than trading in your dirty car and letting them do their thing, you're gonna clean it up yourself. After all, it's your car, so you should get that profit, not them. Let's jump into some old footage of me getting this Acura MDX prepped for sale. The first thing you want to do is take a walk around the car and look at it as if you were a potential buyer. What stands out to you in terms of negatives? Is it really dirty? Are the headlights yellow? Is the paint dull? We're going to take care of all of that. But you've got to start with being really honest with yourself about its condition. Otherwise, you won't know what to improve. By the way, if you want to learn more about detailing, there's a link below to sign up for Less Dirty in 30. I'll email you 30 ways in 30 days to make your car look awesome. Totally free. Have you ever seen a car at a dealership that was still full of the previous owner's belongings? Of course not. So we're going to begin by resetting the interior. Remove all of your stuff. Get everything out of the trunk, under the seats, in the center console, etc. You're going to have to clean it out if somebody buys it anyways, so you might as well just get it over with now. Open up all of the doors and trunk or hatch to get a good view of what you're working with. This interior was mostly just dusty, so it didn't require a whole lot of work. Use an all-purpose cleaner or interior cleaner and scrub all of the high contact areas with a brush. Remember, most surfaces in your car are meant to have a satin or matte finish, so if they're shiny, that means they're dirty with sweat and body oils. So pay extra attention to things like your steering wheel, armrests, and seats. If you have leather seats, cleaning and treating them is a good idea. Next, give it a thorough vacuuming, including the trunk, floor mats, and inside places like cup holders and storage areas. Think of all the things someone would open up if they sat in the car to look at it, and make sure they're clean. Don't forget to clean any smudges from your glass too. I decided to restore the headlights on this MDX before washing the rest of it, since the wet sanding makes a bit of a mess. Nothing makes a car look old and worn out like a pair of yellow, faded headlights. Luckily, this can be fixed pretty easily in most cases. I like to wet sand them with 1000, then 2000, and 3000 grit sandpaper. Then, use a compounded microfiber pad to remove the sanding marks. You can seal them up with a headlight coating or a ceramic coating to keep them looking clear for a year or two. Now, if you go through this process and they still don't look good, you might have to bite the bullet and replace them. If you can find OEM replacements on Amazon, it's totally worth spending a couple $100 to make your car look newer. Here's the before and after shot. They may not be brand new, but they look really good. They'll match the condition of the rest of the car once we get done with it. Cleaning up the engine bay is a great way to impress potential buyers. Don't go too crazy here though. It's not worth it to aim for perfection. You also don't want it to look suspicious, so avoid making it super shiny. If you're worried about getting it wet, feel free to cover up any electrical components. In this case, I just covered the battery since the owner had some grease on the terminals on purpose and I didn't want to wash it off. I sprayed it with Meguiar's Super Degreaser and scrubbed it with my wheel brushes. Try not to get it any wetter than necessary, but on modern vehicles, you don't have to be too paranoid. Just use common sense. Blow it dry with compressed air and start the engine up to shake or evaporate any remaining water that might be hiding. Finish off with a water-based dressing that'll leave a clean, satin finish on the plastics and rubber. Remember, we don't want shiny. Now is a good time to clean the all-weather floor mats since we have the degreaser and hose out, so give them a quick scrub. These WeatherTechs were a little faded and stained, but the goal was just to get them clean. Don't want to risk a safety issue by putting a slippery dressing on them. Your wheels don't get cleaned very well if you typically use automatic car washes, so deep cleaning them is a great way to make your car pop. Hit the wheels with a wheel cleaner and scrub with assorted wheel brushes to reach as much of them as you can. Reach back into the inner barrels too if you can. These were the original Acura wheels, but they had been powder coated a metallic dark gray. Looks pretty good. Cleaning and dressing the inner fenders can create some nice contrast behind them too. For the tires, hit them with an all-purpose cleaner, degreaser, or a dedicated tire cleaner and scrub them with a brush. It might require a few cycles to get them fully clean. You'll know you're good to go when the suds stay white instead of turning brown. I didn't have access to a pressure washer at the time, so I'm sorry for the lack of fancy foam cannon action. I've got plenty of other videos on here of that stuff if you want to see it. But for this, I just had to make do with a hose and an all-purpose cleaner to break down all the road grime that was stuck on this thing. Then I followed up with a typical 2-bucket wash. You want to get it super clean since you're going to be polishing it, but more on that in a minute. This paint had a lot of deep scratches in it, so I didn't have to be super careful with washing it. At this point, the car was nice and clean, so it was time to remove any bonded contaminants with a clay bar, or in this case, a sponge. Since the car was still wet, I just used my soapy mitt for lubrication. Then I gave it one final rinse and dried it off. Make sure to add some tire dressing to make them nice and dark black again. Check out the difference in shine between the front and rear door here. This is my secret weapon to make your car look better than all the others. We're going to do a paint enhancement with an all-in-one polish and a dual action polisher. This is just what it sounds like. It compounds, polishes, and waxes the paint all in one product. In this case, I'm using 3D Speed, but there are a few other good options out there too. You can see how dull and gray the paint used to look and how wet and glossy it looks after. The truth is, it's probably not worth the time or money to do a full-on paint correction on a cheaper car that you're going to sell. You've got to pay attention to the return on investment with all of these things that you're doing. So while I could do a full correction on this MDX in a couple of days, it just wasn't worth it. Instead, I did this paint enhancement to make it stupidly shiny, and I literally spent about 1 hour doing this whole car. This is an absolute game changer if you're listing your car for sale. Just look at the difference between the panels to my left that I've already done and that front fender. Since you're not trying to remove every scratch, you can move pretty quickly. Of course, this process isn't going to give you flawless paint, but it'll take care of the light to medium swirl marks, and that's enough to blow away potential buyers. The goal here is just to bring the gloss out. The reality is, the average person doesn't have a trained eye for this stuff, so they can't tell the difference between these results and what you get from an in-depth correction. This is a super quick and easy process that anybody can do. There's a link below if you want to learn how. Here are the end results, and as you can see, this thing is looking way better than it did at the start of this video. The paint is glossy, the wheels are clean, and the interior is decluttered. This doesn't have to be a crazy show car level detail. You just have to put in a little more effort than your competition if you want yours to stand out. Remember, you want to aim for yours to be the nicest looking one when people are scrolling the listings. It doesn't have to be brand new. Alright, I know that was a lot of work and that was only the first section in this process. But don't worry, the next two are much quicker and easier. Next up, we're going to focus our attention on photography. It's time to share with the internet how good your car looks in real life. I used to tell people to use a real camera instead of their phones, but since then, the image quality on phones has gone up big time. What's more important is the angles and backdrop that you choose. Find a wide open spot that won't have a lot of distracting things in the background. Ideally, you want to time this around 1 hour before the sun sets, also known as golden hour. This is when the lighting will really make your car look great without any unflattering shadows. If you're unsure of what angles to shoot, study the online listings from the dealerships and just steal those. Make sure to capture everything, including all 4 sides of the car, the interior, trunk, and engine bay. If you can, get pictures of the suspension and undercarriage too. People want to know if there's rust under there. One more thing that I recommend is to include pictures of any damage. That shows buyers that you're honest and not trying to misrepresent the condition of the car. Finally, the last piece of the process is to create your listing. Take the time to type up a descriptive ad, but don't go overboard here. Making it too long and filling it with stories of driving to your grandma's cottage is just going to bore your buyers. Stick to the facts and all of your car's strengths. Include things like options, service history, and maintenance. Then add your photos and post that sucker everywhere. Facebook Marketplace, local buy and sell groups, and all the websites. That's pretty much it. This is the exact process that I used to use on other people's vehicles with great results. Now, obviously, I can't guarantee that you're going to get more money for your car, but doing all of these things is definitely going to put the odds in your favor. The rest is up to the market. But let me ask you a question. Did you sell your old car because you're replacing it with something else? If so, all of this detailing just made somebody else's car look amazing. What about your new one? Well, you can sign up for Less Dirty in 30 to keep learning new detailing tips every day, and watch this video next to steal my strategy to keep your paint looking swirl-free for 20+ years.